second day for the JavaScript, and like today we are going to do the real programming stuff. So first of all, let me just share my screen and information audible, man, basic stuff. So just give me 1 second. I just forgot to share my screen, and I could see that here. So I think, yeah. So am I audible, visible, and you're able to see my screen? Like all check marks. Firstly, I'm just going to tell you how you can mark your attendance, and then we can continue with our session. Because to get your certificate, you have to have more than 50% of attendance. So it's very necessary. So that's it's the first thing that I'm going to do. So if you will just go here in description. So I have basically paused my video here. So in the description, what you will see a one link here. So like a one link, it's like a Swift knife for everything, Swift knife for this particular course. So just click here and you're going to find everything here, like to mark attendance, all the assignments, and also you have to visit this same link to download your certificate, which is going to be available to you as soon as this 5 day of session is completed. So like I'm pretty sure that you are already signed up. So first thing that you have to do is to sign up here, like to get enrolled in the course. So that is I'm doing right now. So I'm getting enrolled to my own course here. So it is going to take a little bit of time because it's the first time I'm doing this, like for this course. It's taking like longer than usual. Yeah, so by the way, any doubts in the yesterday's session? Obviously, you should not have, because yesterday we just covered, scratched the basic surface, the surface, no? Nothing special we did. Mobile mode is missing. I don't know why my network speed is so low today. Maybe because of weather. Maybe it should not be that slow. Like, I have ultra high speed internet. Yeah, so my sign up is complete. Just go for this second day. So I think today is 8th now. So no. So just go for the second day. Just click on this mark attendance. How much you like this session on the scale of 0 to 10? I just suggest you to go with 10. And because I like myself a lot, so obviously I'm just going to go with 10 here. And are you interested in our 6 month of full stack program? Remember that course, like where we are going to make you job ready just in 6 months. Like we are going to cover everything there. You're going to be trained by the industry professionals, by real developers. So no teachers here, we just have developers here. So like, yes, so I am, like, obviously. And any suggestions for us? So right now I don't have any, so I'm just going to go with nothing. And that is all. So this is how you mark your attendance, and this is the first thing that you have to do. Now we can start with our session. So let me just go live, and let's just wait for a while. So yesterday I just told you that to use your JavaScript. So here's the thing that we created yesterday, like nothing fancy here, like some basic code. So let us arrange these two things side by side. Yeah. So I just told you that use this script tag. So we basically have this script tag here, and inside this script tag we are just going to write our JavaScript. So like in the CSS we have style, similarly for the JavaScript we have script tag here. Yeah. And yesterday I told you about this console.log. So if you just want to see your output, so for that we have this console log. So you can go here, so inspect. How to open this? Right click anywhere and just click on the inspect. So it is just going to open and go here in the console. And this is the screen, like we are going to spend our most of the time for today and tomorrow here only. So you want to see it, like just to check if everything is working fine. And first thing that I want to do today now, I just don't want to write my JavaScript here, like in your HTML. So obviously that's not a proper way to write the JavaScript. So what I will do, I'll just create a separate file. So here you can see I have just created a file with a, you can just give it any name. So I have just given it a name of script.js. So you can just go with any name you want. And you're going to write your JavaScript here. So let me just write a single line of JavaScript code, like console.log, obviously console.log, and check and save it. That's all. Now you want to connect your JavaScript file with your HTML file, like the way you connected the CSS now, same. But there's little difference here, that how we connect your JavaScript file. So inside this script tag, we basically have an attribute source. So inside the source, just mention your file name, script now, script.js. That's all. So this is how you connect your JavaScript with your HTML. By the way, you can connect multiple JavaScript files. So you can have more than one script tag here, and you can connect multiple JavaScript files. So we are also going to do this, like, after some time. We can have multiple JavaScript files. We are just going to connect all of them with our HTML. So it's like depending on what you're making. So it's completely depends on that. Right now, I'm just okay with a single JavaScript file. And let me just rename this to, today we are just going to learn about conditions, conditional statements, and a quick save. Yeah, and just to see if everything is working fine, see, I'm getting a check here. So whatever I'm just going to write here, I'm just going to get inside my console. So if I just put an emoji, the fire emoji, and voila, so I have a fire emoji here. Like, easy, everybody comfortable with this? Like, any doubts? Kuch bhi? I feel like it's so easy, like you don't have to ask it, but still. Source src, it's src. It's actually my font, so it becomes little cursive. So whenever I just add some attributes and all, so my font become little cursive. So it's src, not orc. Src. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this video will be available now. How did I put the emoji? For that, for if you are using Windows 10 or Windows 11, just press Windows icon. So let me just show it to you. Just press window icon and dot together. So like this window icon, window key, sorry, not icon. Window key and this dot, and you will see this screen. So let me just do this one more time, and you will see this screen. You can choose any emoji, and that is all. So it's not very difficult. Sir, what font you are using? Like, I use a variety of fonts. It's a basically a coding font. So Aman, sir, please Hindi में. Sorry, Aman, like I cannot go with Hindi. I'll try my best. So for the concepts and all, I'll just put Hindi here and there. Okay, so don't worry about that. If you feel like if you are not comfortable with English, and just try your best. Whenever you will feel any confusion and at any part of the session, you can just ask me. So I will just re-convey that part to you in Hindi. Okay, so don't worry about that. How to open inspect? To open your inspect part, just open a website, right click anywhere, right click anywhere on a website, and you will see this last option, inspect. Click here. That is all. And you will see this sort of window, and here you will see this console. So just click on this console and voila. So that's very easy. So let's just continue with our topic. So yesterday I just told you about two types of values. A number. So if this number is a value. Every programming language have basically values and all. And it's a string. So any character, any whatever, what do you want to say? Any state sentence like this, no? Any word and all are actually as strings. So this hello is a string. But today I'll just tell you about one more type of value, and that is true, and false. So these two are very special type of values, and we call them Booleans. Yeah, we call them Booleans. So like what they are used for. So for that, let's just dig a little deeper into it. So remember yesterday what I told you about some operators and all. So you can basically add two numbers by using this plus operator. So this plus is a mathematical operator, and you will basically get arithmetic sum of these two values. And if you will try to add two numbers like hello, sorry, add two strings and world here. I think world spelling is wrong. You are basically going to get a single string. So it's concatenated string, na? And like these are the operators. So today I'll just tell you about one more type of operator, and we call them comparison operators. So how to use these comparison operators? Suppose 10 is greater than let's say 5. Okay, so this is basically a comparison operator, greater than. Okay, and it is going to give you a result in true or false. So can you just tell me, is it 10 is greater than 5? True or false? Like obviously it's gonna be true. So that is why I'm just going to get a true here, and that is a boolean. Save it and see, I'm getting a true here. So this is a boolean. Okay, let me just close it, this one, and ignore these now for now. They are actually for no use right now. So I'm getting a true here. Similarly, if I just do 10 is less than 5, so when we have greater than, then we have less than. So it is like 10 less than 5. Is it true or false? 10 less than 5, it's true or false? Like obviously it's false. 10 is not greater, is not less than 5. So save it and you will see your output here as false. Yeah, so this is actually your boolean value. Yeah, true and false. So these comparison operators are going to give you output, the answer in a true and false, obviously na. Then we have one more kind of comparison operator, double equals to. So it's basically double equals to. Let me just change my font settings. So actually when I use double equals to now, it's just going to connect these two double equals to. So let me just change it, because it's gonna cause some unnecessary doubts and all. So literature, let me just type font here, and just give me 1 second. Let me just change my font setting. Okay, this one. So let me just make it false. Yeah, yeah. So double equals to. So double equals to means that 10 is equals 10 is equal to 5. Just answer me. Is 10 is equals to 5 or not? Like these two values are same or not? Like obviously not. Obviously not. So you will get answer as false here. If I make it 10 is equals to 10, so is it true or false? Like if 10 is equals to false, sorry, equals to 10, like is it true or false here? 10, yeah, true here, and save it, and I'm getting a true here. So that is some these are some examples of comparison operators. So let me just quickly go through the rest of them. So first one was greater than. Okay, so like if 10 is greater than 4, so I'm getting a true here. Yep, it is true. Then we have less than. So is 10 less than 4? Nope, nope, no, obviously not. So that's why I'm getting false here. Then we have double equals to. That is just going to check for if the right side value is equals to left side value, and I'm getting a false here. Then I have, so can you just answer me this? Is 10 is greater than 10? Like just tell me, like is 10 is greater than 10 or not? Yeah, Utpal, we are just going to cover that. Yeah, just tell me, is 10 is greater than 10 or not? Nope. Yeah, exactly, no. So I'm getting false here. So for that we have a very special symbol, less than equals to, okay, or greater than equals to, or it is saying if the left side value is greater than or equals to 10. So if any of the condition is true, we are going to get true here. Okay, so if I'll save it, I'm going to get the output here true. Okay, so that means 10 is greater than or equals to 10. And what I'll just do here now, I'll just save all these values inside a variable. So I'm just going to use const a to create a variable. Yeah, const. So remember yesterday I told you that you can create some variables. What is a variable? Variable is just a name for your value. So here I am just giving value 10 a name, that is a. And how you can create a variable? Just type const or let. Okay, so we have two ways, const and let. And after that you have to basically put a variable name. You can just go with any name. So there are some rules and all so that you have to keep in mind whenever you are basically creating a variable. So I'll just go through them as well, so don't worry about that. So and let me just create one more variable, const b equals to, let's say 11 here. Okay, and I'm just going to compare these two values here. So if a is greater than b, so can you just answer me this? If a is greater than b, so instead of a we will have 10 here. greater than, instead of in the place of b we will have 11 here. So we are saying that if 10 is greater than 11, no, obviously not, because 10 is basically lesser than 11 now. So we are just going to get a false here. Yep. And I can also use this greater than equals to just to check this sort of situations. Then we have not equals to. So I'm just going to make it, let's say 5. So this not, like exclamation mark and equal to. So we call this not equals to. So can you just tell me that A is not equals to B? It's little tricky, na? It's little tricky because here we are actually reversing the thing. So just tell me, if 10 is not equals to B, is it true or false? Yeah, we have to write console as many times you want to have any output. Yeah, and save it. And I'm getting a true here. What is the reason? Because 10 is not equals to 5. So at the place of A, we will have a 10 here. Not equals to, at the place of B, we will have 5 here. And that is a complete true statement because A is not equals to B. And the final one. So 10 is not equals to 10. False or true? Like you already have seen the answer, but still I'm just going to ask you. So is it true or false? Is it true or false? And can you tell me the reason? Like why it's false? Like here I'm asking whether the value of A is 10 is not equals to 10 here. So 10 not equals to 10. Like it's a false statement because A and B are equal. So either you can just go with double equals to, and otherwise it's going to be false. Yep. Then so these are the basic operators, some of the basic comparison operators. Then we have a very special kind of two comparison operators, and we call them triple equals to. So what is the difference between a double equals to and triple equals to? Let me just put them these two here. And I'll just tell you about one thing about console here, that so if you just want to have multiple output in a console now, so suppose I just want to get hello and world. So suppose if you want to also console something else, so you can just put a comma here, just put a comma here and just mention some another value. So let's say 23. Or let me just put another comma and let me just put a false here. Yeah. So in a single console, you can basically log out multiple things, just separate all of the values by comma. So comma here, comma here, comma here, comma here, and save it, and you will basically get all the values here. Yep. So this is the one thing that I wanted to tell you. So before moving on, and I'll just create those variables one more time. So I'll just have a 10 here, and here I'll have a 20, and I just want to console.log A equals to B and triple equals to B, and let's see what is the difference we are going to have here. So I'm just going to put double equals here and triple equals here. Yep. So in this situation, like in the both the cases, I will get a false. So the first situation, like we already know about this double equals to. So here we are asking if 10 is equal to B, which is also 10, which is 20 right now. 20. Yeah, see the value of B is 20 here. So that is why I'm getting false in both the situation. So this triple equals to is also a comparison operator, but there is some extra add-on to this. So what is the add-on now? So suppose if I'll just put a 10 in both A and B. So I am just getting true and true for both of the things. But what will happen if I'll just do this? So for the A, I'm having a number. Okay, number. And for the B, I am having a string. So it's a string. See that I have a quotes here, double quotes here. So it is a string. And I'm comparing A equals to B by using double equals to, and one more time with triple equals to. So what is the difference between these two? At the end of the day, both are going to do the same thing, but there's a little difference in the working and all. So I'll save it. See, for the first one, I'm getting a true. So this double equals to is just going to check for the value. This first one is just going to check for the value. So for both, the value is 10 here. Yep. But the second one with the triple equal, is not only going to check for the value, it is also going to check for the type. So here we have a number and here we have a string. So that is why this is little more strict. Okay, it's more strict. So like in this part we are getting false here. So triple equals to will basically check for the value and for the type both. On the other hand, this first one, like this first one, it's just going to check for the value. Yeah. So that is the difference between triple equals to and the double equals to. How to clear the history in console? You can basically refresh your page, and you have this. See, this is the delete icon. So if you just click here, your console will basically clear out. So this is be used to clear your console. Mm. Yeah, exactly. Type comparison and as well. Okay, moving on. So these all were the basic type of comparison operators. Basically, we have covered all of them. Now, why basically I told you about this? Because I just wanted to tell you about if and else. So what is if and else here? So suppose if I write a condition, let's say, mm, let's just have a scenario like if Thanos equals to snap. Okay, so I just want to log out two things. Okay, let's say we die, and otherwise another console is we got saved. Okay, so I just want to log out any one of the value depending what is the value of Thanos. So here I've created a variable Thanos with the name Thanos here, and the right now the value is snap, and accordingly I just want to either you can die or you can get saved. So here, like, I just don't want to get both the outputs here. Obviously these two things together is not possible. So in this situation what I will do now, I'll basically use a if. So what is this if? So just type if, and after this put this round brackets, and after that put this curly brackets. Okay, and if inside this round bracket it will pass a value of false, or let's say true here. If you pass a value of true here, whatever you are going to write inside this curly brackets, you are going to see inside a console. So let me just put an emoji here. So let's say this rocket. So see here. So I'm getting my rocket here, no? Rocket, and I'm getting my rocket here. So it's very straightforward. This is the syntax. What is syntax? Syntax is actually like a grammar. So like it's the rule how you write your code. So here, like the syntax of if is very simple. Just write if. After that, put this round brackets, and after this, have these curly brackets. Curly brackets. And if inside this round brackets, if you're going to pass true, whatever code you have written inside this curly brackets is going to get executed. Okay, you are going to basically run this code, whatever you are going to put here. Save it, and see I'm getting rocket here. But if I'll just put a false here, in that case it is just going to ignore this piece of code. See, I'm not getting any output, nothing I'm seeing here. It doesn't matter how many lines of code you have here, you're not going to see this code on a console. This piece of code is going to get ignored. So if you pass a false here, this piece of code is going to get ignored, and if you pass a true here, whatever code you have inside this curly bracket, you're going to see inside your console panel. Very simple, very straightforward. But what I will do now, instead of passing true and false directly, there's one thing which basically give us this true and false as a result. Okay, so can you just guess me what is the thing which is going to result us in true and false? Can we take the input? Yeah, Mahesh, we are going to take the input from the user from tomorrow. So today we are just going to cover the basic part, and from tomorrow we are going to take the user input. So according to that, we are going to execute our code. Conditions, exactly, Satyam, condition, yeah. Can we create a variable with where? Yeah, Kriti Raj, yeah, we can create a variable with where, but where is not a proper way to do code in JavaScript right now. So I'll just go with the latest way, which is const. So what I'll do, suppose I'll just write 10 less greater than 5. So it is going to result in true. this piece of code is going to result in true. And if I'll save it, see, I'm getting my code here. And if I'll just reverse it, this piece of code will get ignored because 10 is less than 5 and it is just going to get converted into false. Okay, so if you're like 10 less than 5, it is basically same as writing false because this condition is going to result in the false. So I'll write here false directly and see the code is getting ignored. So instead of doing this, I'll just have a variable, let's say age for now. So if age equals to, let's say 20, and what I will just put here, like if age is greater than 18, then I'll have a console here, let's say console.log. Let's just say you can vote. Okay, this is the one of the most classic example of if and else. So if age is greater than 18, so here we have written age, and age is right now 20. And don't worry, we are not always going to create variable like this. We are basically going to get the input from the user. So this is a temporary thing, just to understand the basic concept. And from tomorrow we are going to take the input from the users, because it's not going to make any sense if I am just creating these values here only. Yeah. Okay, so like now I can just do this. So what I will do here now, if Thanos, let's just take an input. There's one more way to take the input, and is equals to, let me just make it Thanos is equals to snap. Then I'll just say that we all, not like half, like half of the people did. It's still like we all are going to die, and saved. So right now, like, are we going to get like, are we going to die, or we are just going to be saved? Just tell me. So here I've just written a very basic if and else statement, the very basic, like one of the basics one. And then we have one more part here, and we call it else. So what is this else here? So else actually means that if this piece of code is ignored, then execute this piece of code. So I can basically have something like console.log, and we all are going to live. Okay, so it's like if and else, if this or that. Okay, if like if this condition is true, then execute this piece of code and ignore this one. Okay, and if we have a false here, then ignore this code and execute this code. Okay, so if and else, like very simple, very straightforward. It's just like English, if this or then. And let me just make it to no snap right now, no snap, and save it. So like if I'll just make it no snap, can you just tell me what will be the output here? So Rohit, you're getting by the way, you can just answer this, like what I'm going to get in my output, and you're getting an error in your console. So can you just tell me like what is the error? So just copy paste that error now, so otherwise I'm else part. Yeah, okay, that's great. So in this situation, I'm just going to live. Okay, we all are going to live. And just to make the situation a little bit more fun, well, I'm just going to tell you how you can take the input from the user. So it's just a temporary way again. So there's a function in JavaScript, and we call it prompt. So there's a thing what we call prompt, like console, we have something called prompt here. So inside the prompt, so prompt is basically used to take the input from the user, and let me just show it to you. So if you just write a prompt now, if you're going to write a prompt here, and if I'll save it, so you will get this pop-out window now. Just write prompt here, and you will get this pop-out window, and you can write anything here. So let me just write here in the form of a string, then tell me कितने लोग थे, ठीक है, and save it. And whatever you are just going to write here, you're just going to see here. So if I'll save it and see, I'm getting to tell me कितने लोग थे, like ऐसा कुछ नहीं था, कुछ था ना कितने आदमी थे कुछ करके था यार, उस टाइम में पैदा हुआ था क्योंकि जो पिक्चर आई थी शायद. Yeah. So what I just told you is like just write prompt and you can write any message here. Yeah, no Hindi. Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. So tell me how you doing. I think it's a popular line in Friends. Yep. So if I'll just say and I refresh it, see I'm getting. Tell me how you're doing. Yeah, like very straightforward. And user can basically write their answer here. So you don't have to create this. So like I'm good. And if you're just going to press OK, you can basically get that value. You can basically get that answer where you can basically create a variable here like const, and I'm just going to name this variable answer and just make it equals to your prompt. ANSWR. Just make that thing equals to your prompt. You can create any variable. I'm just creating a variable answer and I'm just making this equals to this R prompt here. Like const answer equals to prompt, and you can write any message here. And for now I'm just going to get let's say I'm just going to log out this answer, console.log your answer. So let's see what we are going to get here. So I'll just thing here and this thing here. So a quick say refresh, how you're doing, I am good here. And if we'll press OK, see I'm getting I'm good here. So whatever answer the user is going to write, you're going to get that thing inside this variable, and later you can use it. Later you can use it. And let's just you can write anything. So did you like the movie, or anything like Thanos killed half of the universe, and if answer is equals to yes, let me just shout here. Okay, obviously not correct. Let's just cry. Cry. And else let's to party. Okay, so like it's the simplest way of doing this. Okay, sir, console is not giving output. So Arpan, maybe you messed up with this part. Okay, in this script part, maybe. Okay, so just try it by yourself, or Arpan, you can just share me what is the problem. Like just try it. Like first of all, write all of this code inside your HTML directly, and if it's working, and if it's not working in a separate file, then I'm pretty sure that the reason is because your file is not correct, it's not connected properly. So this could be the reason. So just write this script tag and you can write your all of your code here. Okay, don't use the source tag and write your code here. And if you're getting your output, you can just let me know and I'll just take it from there. And let's see. So refresh here, and let me just type here yes and okay, and I'm just crying here. Okay, so this is all about if and else. Okay, this is all about if and else, and this one more thing that you can do now. So this is one kind of conditional statement. So Utpal is saying how to add the third statement like if and else if ternary operator. If it is possible, please cover this part today. Yeah, just try to do that. Sir, in JavaScript, is it good for competitive program? Actually, like Mahesh, JavaScript is like complete, like any programming language first of all is good for competitive language, competitive competitions. Like the best one is Python, because Python is super easy. Yeah, Python is so easy that you can basically focus on your problem instead of focusing on the complexity of the language. So here JavaScript is also very easy, so you can use it for any competitive programming, because obviously you will be focusing on the problem more and less on the like complexity of the language. Like in the Java you have to do a lot of stuff, but not here. Yeah, so moving on, one thing that you can do here now, suppose uh, if you can also add here one more condition, like, and we call it else if. Okay, else if, and you can just chain it like this. So what I mean by, if your answer is yes, then just cry. Else if answer is equals to maybe, then just make this funny face, and otherwise be just happy. Okay, so you can see here like what I have written. If answer is equals to this, so if this condition is true, then execute this code and ignore rest of the code. Just ignore rest of the code here. Yeah. So if this if in the other case, if this condition is not true, so ignore this piece of code and jump to the next part. And here we are writing else if. So if this condition is true, execute this piece of code and ignore the rest of the code. Yep. And now if this condition is also false, then finally just jump to this else part. Yeah. So we call this if else if. So you can basically chain multiple conditions. Yeah, you basically you can't make changes in static website. Saurabh, we can make changes to the static website. I'll just come to you, no, don't worry. I'll just come to your questions as well. So by the way, this is what we call if else. If else, if else. You can have as many conditions you want. So like you can just add one more. So if answer is equal to something else, so answer is no, then just do this. If answer is equals to, let's say, I'm just out of some ideas, idk else, and so like here I have a if else condition chain. So if answer this condition is true, execute this code. If this condition is true, execute this code. So like if any of this condition is true, just execute that part of code. That's all. That is all. If none of the condition is true here, then finally we are just going to jump here. Like whatever you're just going to put here, that's all. And let's see if it is working. Like obviously it's going to work, but still I have a job to do. So I'm just, so let's just refresh it, and I'm just going to put here, let's say idk, I don't know, and let's just put here no. So like this icon, save it, and let's say maybe, oh let's just go with yes. So like what like in this piece of code, only any one of the line is just going to get executed depending on the condition. If the condition is true, then do it, otherwise yeah. Okay, so what is the difference between a dynamic website and a static website? So I think your name is Janeth. So a static website is a website which is just going to be like fixed. So the content is not going to change. Like a very good example is Wikipedia page. So in a Wikipedia page, the content is just going to be like that forever. Now, until and unless some developer is just going to manually change it. So that is a good example of a static website. On the other hand, a dynamic website is a website where your content dynamically changes according to your preferences, according to your interactions, what you have done. So like a very good example is YouTube. So whenever you're just going to refresh, so you will see a different video suggestions. If you click on any video, you will see different comments. If you just click on the like button, so number of the likes will increase, and so on and so forth. So dynamic website is basically a website which can basically change according to the user interaction. So that is the most straightforward and the simple explanation of a dynamic website. Yep. Then okay, so can you, how you're refreshing your console? So I'm not actually refreshing my console, I'm just saving it here. So there is an extension that I'm using. So if you are using VS Code like me, and if not, then it's not for you. So if you are using VS Code, so just go here in the extensions. So this is the extension, and here you will find an extension called live server. You can also find this tutorial for this live server in the HTML CSS part. So just you will see this live server here. Just install this live server. Just install this live server. So here you will have an install button. Just install it, and as soon as you will install it, you are going to get a go live button here. So you are just going to get a button here, go live, and just click on that. So it is just going to refresh your website whenever you will save your code. So if I'll save my code, it's just going to get updated, console.log, and let me just write here, I am done. So every time I'll just write anything, it's just going to refresh it. So idk, okay, refresh here, idk, Okay, and I'm getting I'm done here. Okay, so that is what I'm using. We won't change a static website, bro. Okay, so the final events, yeah, the final is like a catch. How to go live from HTML file only. So in that case, na, just go over here, like just, and one thing that you have to keep in mind, that always name your HTML file with the name index.html. So it's very, very important to name your file index.html, and after that, like you can just create your HTML file, connect some CSS here, connect your JavaScript here, like whatever you want to do. And whenever you will save your code, it's just going to update it. Okay, so that is all about the if and else. Now let's just move to the next topic. The next topic is switch. The switch is again of another type of, for now let me just instead of this prompt now, so let me just put here a fixed answer, because I don't want to write that answer again and again. So I'll just have a variable with a fixed value, and after that we will convert it into the user input. For now, let's just go with a fixed value. So like this is little confusing, isn't it? Like if else, if else, if else. So instead of that, we have one more type of what we say a condition statement, and we call a switch. So switch is very, very straightforward. So let me just convert this conditional statement into a switch. So for that, just write here switch. Okay, switch here. And after that, use this round brackets. And after that, this curly brackets. That's all. Yeah. And first thing that you have to write inside this round bracket is not condition, is not any condition. You have to put here a variable, the variable that you want to check for. So if you look closely, for each and every condition, we are checking for this answer. We are just checking for this answer variable. So I'm just going to write answer here. Okay. And now inside the curly bracket, you can basically mention some cases. So the first case is going to be, let's say, yes. Yes. So just type case. Okay. After the case, you can write the value. So it's just going to check for if answer is equals to yes, then execute this piece of code. So you can basically write anything, any code here. So right now I'm just going to write this code here. Yeah. And you can basically mention as many cases you want. So let's say case no. Then I just want to execute this code. Case and like say maybe. So I'll just execute this code. Like you can basically mention as many cases you want. So like IDK and just have a different emoji here. Yeah. And like that's all. And for the final else, if none of the condition is true, so this final else was getting executed, isn't it? So in that case, just put a default here. So what is this default is, so default basically if none of the condition is true. So if none of the condition is true, okay, so if none of the condition is true, it's just going to execute the code that you have inside the default. So I can just remove the if else from here, and this is how a switch case actually look like. Let me just give you a quick recap, and then I'll just tell you something more about this switch. So just write a switch here, and after the switch, just write the variable for which if you want you actually checking for now. So here right now I'm checking for the answer variable. So it's answer. So if answer case 1, so if it is equals to yes, then execute this piece of code. If answer is equals to no, then execute this piece of code. And if answer is not equals to like none of any of them, then execute this default case. So for the default, just write default here, and after that just put this curly bracket and the code that you want to execute. Okay, so right now I'm just going to write nothing. So right now answer is literally nothing, like blank string. So that means it is not going to be equals to any of them. So the default case will get executed, and let's see. So for that, first of all, let me just make it cancel and a refresh here. And see, I'm getting this crying icon, this default one. So let me just write here default. So I'm just getting this default, and let's just minimize it, and let's just make it here. Yeah. And let's see what is going to happen. So if I'll just put here, let's say IDK, and if I save it, see, I'm getting this IDK, I'm getting this IDK, but also this default one. I'm getting this IDK and default both. So what if I just put a no here and let's just save it. I'm getting the output for the no, yep, for the maybe, for the IDK and for the default. So why this is happening? So there is a little problem with our switch case now. The problem is that as soon as it will find a true condition, so like in our case, so answer is no. So as soon as it gonna find any condition true, it's just going to execute everything afterwards. So it is just going to execute this code, this and this. If I'll just put an IDK here, so IDK like this one. So in this particular case, it is just going to execute this code and whatever coming, whatever is there after this condition. So we have one more condition like this default. So that is why in our output, I'm getting IDK and the default both. So how you can prevent this? The answer is very straightforward, very simple. Just write break here. So what is break now? Break is just going to break out of this switch. So let me just show it to you what's it's gonna look like. So see, now my output is like correct. If I'll just put here no, I'm just going to get no. If I'll just put here yes, I'm just going to get a crying icon. Okay, this crying emoji. So as soon as it will encounter this break, it is just going to come out of the switch statement. Okay, so if I'll just write here yes, so this condition is true. Execute this line, next line says break. So come out of the switch statement. Yeah, ignore rest of the code and just come out of the switch statement. So that is why if you are using switch, you have to use break here. You cannot use switch without break. Okay, so break is very compulsory. You should use break. Without this, you won't be able to. So this is the errors now I'm just getting because of some uh, version and etc. So it's not related to our code. So ignore it. Yeah. Yeah, default will be considered at the final case. Break statement is required. Otherwise, what if there is no break? No, it is not going to cause error. You are not going to see anything. So if you don't provide the break here now, so then you won't see anything. So let me just put any random text. See, you're not going to see any output. So like it's better to see something like instead of having nothing. So that is why I always put a default case here. So if you don't put a default case and your condition is true for none of them, then you're not going to see anything. So that is why we always have this default here. Yep. And now what I will do, I just have the answer from the user itself. Okay, let's see. So what the no. Okay, and I'm just getting this here. So I'm just asking the user. If I'll just IDK and okay, and I'm just getting this. Okay, so let's just increase our scale. And right now I'm just going to do one thing. Instead of logging out this, because it's about to close the class, before that I'll just tell you one thing, that you can update your UI. What I mean by this now, you can basically modify your HTML with your JavaScript. So that is like the real part now. So how you can do this? So I'll just show you how to like what is the result we are going to get, and how to do this all we will see in the next class, which is tomorrow. So I'm just going to do here one thing. So let's say a title here, title, and what I will do here, let's say title dot inner text equals to, and let's just make it crying icon. Okay, and I'm just going to do this for each and every one of them. And just give me 1 second. Okay, default, and let's have some different icon. Yep, and see what is going to happen here. So if I'll just put here, let's say yes, and if I'll say okay, and first one I have to refresh now. Yes, and see your like the content of your website is changing. If I'll say let's say IDK and okay, see I'm just getting a different emoji. If I'll say yes, let's say no. See, I'm getting a different emoji. So it's an example of a dynamic website, like somebody was asking. So continue statement. Yeah, we will cover all of that thing tomorrow. Yeah, Aniket. So that is all about switch case and all. So here I just told you how you can basically update the UI. So for this part, if you want to understand more about this stuff, so you have to watch tomorrow's stream. So tomorrow we are going to understand how you can update the UI. You can also change the styling, colors and all. You can add some animation. You can do anything. You can basically create a complete new world. And for that, you have to watch tomorrow's stream. And before ending today's session, let me just remind you about the offers and the courses that we are offering right now, because we are targeting to make 50,000 employable developers by the year 2025. And you can be the part of this journey if you want to change your life, if you want to be a part of a successful, like if you just want to become successful, if you want to change your life forever, if you want to be a developer. So this is the best chance to start with, because right now the demand of a web developer and the data science engineer is on the, like, is on a different planet, like just literally so high. And but they are, you are not going to get placed until and unless you are skilled. So they are not going to ask for you about your college degree, either you are have done BCom, BTech, MCA, BCA, it doesn't matter. If you are a doctor also, only the thing that matters in this industry is a skill. And we are offering you the skill and the opportunity to get in contact with the industry. So we will arrange you for you the interviews with our partner companies. We will help you to crack the interviews. We will help you to train. We are just going to, first of all, we will just train you a lot. And we are not, it's not like a school or a college. We will work on project. We will be like a team. And to start your journey in the Let's Upgrade, just visit our website once, click on this start learning button, and you will see our two flagship courses here: full stack web development and full stack data science. And right now we are giving you an offer. The coupon code is SK10. So it's my coupon code, and you can use this coupon code to bring down the price even down. Like already the prices are so low, but still you can just bring down the prices more down by using this coupon code, and you will get 10% instant off. Just click on this enroll, and from here our team will contact you, and we will help you out to choose your proper path. We will be having 100% live session, one-to-one mentoring, doubt solving classes, project works, and a lot. So I hope I'll see you in the class or in the tomorrow's stream. Tomorrow we are going to update the UI, because right now we haven't we have just let me just open this. Yeah. So I'll see you tomorrow. That was a great session, and I hope I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, bye bye, take care.
Hey, hi guys, this is Sai Kiran from LetsUpgrade, and I'm here today to congratulate you all guys for completing or like for pursuing our Essentials program in various fields what we do. And I want to tell that yes, this is amazing program what you're doing, but if you want to continue this learning and want to take your career to next level with a one-on-one personal mentorship what we're not providing in Essentials, and also build real-time projects, then join our 6 months PGP full stack program in data science or AI/ML or web development in MERN stack or Python Django. That's it. Bye-bye.